Hey everybody, welcome to Skyllzone, your update and review. I'm Rusty Gatenby. I'm just a guy who kind of likes fantasy football. To my left.
My name is Seth. I'm a guy that really likes fantasy football and spends most of his workday online looking at stats.
Should you really let the boss know that?
Yeah, that's fine.
The guy kind of scares me. To my right.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm on this show.
That is true. That is very true. This show is, it's very exciting. The show right now is coming to you from Minneapolis, where it's a big weekend because they have the Major League Baseball All-Stars in town, and the town is going crazy. Are you a baseball fantasy guy?
Not really. I don't have the attention span for it.
Really?
Yeah, can't do it.
How about you?
They got great butts.
Well, all right, that's more fantasy than I wanted to know about, actually. What I enjoy about the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, it means football is just around the corner. Football is in the air, and people are getting excited about fantasy football.
Jenny football, I'm so excited.
I was waiting to see an excitement. I guess that's pretty good. With Skyllzone, though, it's kind of a different game for traditional fantasy football players, which even you find exciting. Well, explain it.
Yeah, so your traditional leagues, you're going to have one draft probably in August, in the third week of preseason, and you get one chance to get your team right. And you're stuck with that team for better or for worse the duration of the season. But with Skyllzone, that's not the case. You do weekly drafts, so you're kind of focused more on the week-to-week matchups. And if your week one team totally tanks and bombs, you have a chance to correct that week two, and you draft a new team each week.
Kind of like a mulligan.
Kind of like a mulligan. Jenny football. All right, touchdown. Yeah, you get a whole new team every week, because I know sometimes like when Adrian Peterson got hurt, I'm sure that ruined one guy's team. That was his player.
Yeah, yeah. Injuries. I mean, if you're playing and you've got a couple of guys that get injured on your roster, your season is shot. There's not a lot you can do to fix it. You're in the tank, and it sucks.
Well, we are going to play along this season with Skyllzone. We're all going to have new teams, and it's man against machine, so that makes it interesting as well. I thought we should all have team names. I've been the guy that normally funds a fantasy football league. That's why my buddies were like, "Hey, come on over, Rusty, let's bring it back." But we need team names, so I thought I'm going to be the down and outs. Right? Get it? Mm-hmm. How about you? Your team name? You got a team name?
I do have a team name. My team name is inspired by the Green Bay Packers' first-round draft pick this year.
Yeah.
He's a safety out of Alabama. Okay. So you can take his name and then customize it to your league to rip on your least favorite person in the league.
Oh.
The draft pick's name is Ha Ha Clinton Dix. So you take the Clinton out, and you put a Rusty in, and now you've got Ha Ha Rusty Dix. That's my team name.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that. Jenny, football, you got a team name?
Well, I was thinking about going with Angry Cock Blockers, but I did hear a really good team name earlier, and that's Jenny Football.
Jenny Football.
Angry Cock Blockers? I like Jenny Football much better. I really do.
I think that's just too much dicks if I go with that one, so I'll just go with Jenny Football.
There is too many dicks, that's for sure. All right, so let's talk about how this works then, because for a lot of folks in traditional leagues, a lot of folks are thinking that Charles is in charge, right?
Scott Baio, yes.
No, not Scott Baio.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles. A lot of people are picking him number one in their league. That's not necessarily the case for Skyllzone week one.
Well, no, because Jamal Charles is consistent over the course of a season. Yeah. And so Skyllzone, you want to look at the week-to-week matchups. He's a great choice. He's probably a top 5 running back in the league, but who is he playing week one? That's what you need to kind of focus on. What are his stats going to be like against the team that he is playing week one?
So who do you like week one?
For running backs, I think, LaShawn McCoy is right up there with Jamal Charles, but his week one matchup is against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville is just a horrific football team. They should move to Canada and play arena football. They're terrible all around. Their defense is just atrocious. So LaShawn McCoy is going to have a huge week one.
What does he say about me when I'm not in the room?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
Wow. All right. So Jacksonville, boy, that's going to be a team I'm going to look at every week.
Every week you look at who they're playing, and there's probably someone you can start against them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So who your running back then would be from the Eagles?
Yeah, you can take LaShawn McCoy. Nick Foles is the quarterback, and Philadelphia
also not a bad choice with the quarterback. He had a good season.
If you're not going to go LaShawn McCoy, you could go Nick Foles. He had a great season last year. I think he played 10 or 12 games last year, so he's still, the jury's out a little bit about how he's going to carry over those numbers to a full season. But week one, I would take one of those two for sure against Jacksonville.
What about the quarterback deal? Because Peyton Manning, of course, he had a fantastic season last year. I almost said fantastic.
Yeah, 55 touchdowns.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's a historic season. So
a lot of people are very excited. Oh, I want Peyton Manning. I want Peyton Manning. Should they be that excited about Peyton Manning?
You can be, but I don't think he's going to repeat that great of a season. It's going to be really hard to chase those numbers year after year. And again, in week one, it's an intriguing matchup. It's going to be a great game to watch because he's going back home to his old team to play the Colts.
Right.
But the Colts are a good pass defense. So are they better than Peyton Manning? Is that the best quarterback matchup of the week? I don't really think so because the Colts will defend pretty well, I think. So you got to look for a weak defense that matches up against the quarterback.
Well, what about the Super Bowl rematch that's going to be happening? Does that interest you at all?
Well, the defending Super Bowl champs, the Seahawks, are playing the Packers for the opening game of the year. And again, those two teams are pretty equal teams. So the last game they played, the infamous Fail Mary game where they had the scrub refs in there that just botched the last call of the game. The game was 14-12.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Rodgers, threw a touchdown that game as field goals.
Yeah.
So it's Russell Wilson against a average Packers secondary.
I'm a huge Badger fan, so don't be bad mouthing my Russell Wilson.
I'm not bad. He's a good quarterback. He's average, but there's better choices at quarterback. Okay. So you look at the game of the Saints and the Falcons, and Drew Brees is a fantasy stud, and he's so consistent. Yeah. And the Falcons last year had some injuries and were a terrible defense. So that's probably the matchup that I would go for as far as the best quarterback versus defense matchup.
Jennifer, and answer this question carefully. Who's your fantasy stud?
You.
You're hired.
Rusty Dicks.
It's not nice.
Rusty.
It's not nice.
I know. I'm going to laugh at that every time you say it.
I am so cutting this part of the show out. Anyway, so continue on. We were talking, where were we? The Saints and the Falcons. Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees. I mean, I think that's a safe bet. That's a solid bet. So in the week-to-week league, I think that's probably going to be a pick that a lot of people take because it's so safe and foolproof. Drew Brees has been the most consistent fantasy quarterback over the past probably 5 years. Yeah. So I think a lot of people probably see that matchup and see the Falcons' defense is atrocious, and automatically, Drew Brees is probably a 3-touchdown, 300-yard guy that game. So you can keep pace with the pack by picking him week one, or you can kind of go out on a limb and try to separate yourself and find sort of that unexpected quarterback who's going to have a big game.
Yeah. Well, so this is man against machine. Who is going to be your number one pick?
David Beckham.
Yeah. See, I so wish I could play Jenny. That would be good. But it's man against machine. And again, you get to pick a whole new team. There's a weekly draft. It's free. It takes you 5-10 minutes. And you're in the running for a $100,000 prize. I think in week 15 they'll have that big grand prize. So
cool.
I'm pretty excited about this.
If you're interested in $100,000 for 5 minutes of work, check it out.
Sign me up. All right, so coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota, this has been your Skillzone update and review. Nice job, Jenny. High five me. Seth, go to hell.